Next fake news article from the Daily Fake Mail. Quote, why did they shoot me so many times? End quote. Jacob Blake asked from the hospital as 2 cops are named. 2 of the cops involved in Sunday's shooting in Kenosha, Washington were identified Friday as officers Vincent Arians and Brittany Moronek. So, because obviously the people who run the Daily Mail are stupid, let me explain to you why they shot Jacob Blake in the back 6 times. It's because he had raped his ex-girlfriend. He wasn't allowed to be at the house. He showed up at the house and he had a knife. And you can see in the video where they didn't show you on the other side where the cops were tasering him, trying to wrestle him down to the ground because he was threatening the family with the knife. He'd taken their car keys. And then you can see here the woman who shot him. He was running. He had the knife in his hand. Then you can see the knife on the ground. So he did have the knife. He was menacing the general public with the knife. And then he was trying to run into the car, and he had kids in the car, and he was going to engage in a high-speed chase with the police, possibly killing the children in a car accident. And that's why they shot him in the back and paralyzed him, and that's what they're supposed to do. And they told you a bunch of lies, and that's because they know they can get millions of dollars in donations. And in fact, they raised over $1 million in scam donations so far. They need to refund these donations. It was all a lie. The brother of George Floyd, who we're about to see another article, he raised $14 million in scam donations. He's living the life of luxury. And so they're coming up. They're making millions of dollars off of these riots where they're burning your city down, destroying your businesses, burning your cars, terrorizing you, killing your friends and family, they're on a crime spree. Murders up 34% in all the big cities on average. They're just like murdering thousands of people, gunning them down. I'm not joking when I say this. I've already covered these stories on Real Simple News a bunch. So, I mean, we've covered a little bit of this in New York at the crime spree, but we've covered so many stories about this recently. It's insane what is going on. They are literally, Black Looter Mob is literally on a crime spree, murdering people all around the country. It's not a fucking joke, dude. These people are so insane to be supporting Black Looter Mob. And especially Black Looter Mob wants Joe Magoo Biden and Kamala the Snitch Harris. Joe Magoo Biden is the author of the 1994 crime bill that created the prison industrial complex that is the source of the vast majority of police brutality in the country. It's not brutality. Well, there is some brutality. Most of it's self-defense. That's not brutality. That's not brutal. That's what they did was brutality. What the people who died, vast majority of people who get killed by cops are armed and they pose a substantial threat to the general public. But Black Looter Mob doesn't want you to know this because they support gangbangers. They support murderers. They support terrorists. They support those people getting off on their charges because they say that's just justice. But then they want mob justice for the police when they are forced to kill a skis bag piece of shit, or put this like the skis bag piece of shit, Jacob Blake, the rapist, the one who hurts people. He had a prior incident where he had pulled a gun on someone in a bar. He has a criminal history for that. So, and then he had an altercation with a police officer after that event. So he's got a history of pulling guns on people. He's got a history of beating women, raping women. This guy is a detestable piece of shit. These are the kinds of people that Black Looter Mobs support. It's not hateful when you call them a detestable piece of shit because they are hateful. I support peaceful, loving people who are kind, caring, polite, respectful. I don't care if you're smart because honestly, I think that that's kind of... You know, you get a bunch of smart people in a room and you can end up with some really stupid shit. But if you bring in a couple of normal people there that aren't considered geniuses, you're going to have a much better product because you get more diversity of thought, People ask questions. When you ask dumb questions, you're valuable. People who ask dumb questions are valuable because smart people say, huh, you don't know that, huh? How could you even ask that? Everybody knows that, right? This is why they say diverse teams are superior to non-diverse teams, but the leftists take this too far. They think that means that all white teams are inferior to teams with black people on them and Latinos and women. But the reality is that diversity is about location, whether or not you have everybody from the same state, whether or not they all think the same, if it's a heterodoxy, which means everyone has the same orthodoxy, if it is a echo chamber and they're group thinking and they all know the same types of things and they're going to look down upon you if you don't know the same things as the other people in the heterodoxy groupthink echo chamber. That's really, really bad for productivity and innovation. But they think that it's your skin color because they can only see skin deep. They don't judge you by the content of your character. They judge you by the color of your skin and your gender. They want to remove the white males because they think that their teams with the white males are inferior, so you have to replace them with African Americans, women, Wajins, and Kleenex, i.e. Latinx, because the white feminists said that it's sexist for Spanish to use la and los, so everything is X now. Spanish has been canceled because you're sexist. Give me a fucking break, dude. Seriously? Canceling law and los because it's sexist? That's fucked up. That is whack as fuck, dude. The only person that would need Kleenex would need it to try the rivers of lip tears coming from their snowflake eyes. And that is just pathetic. I can sit up here and make fun of you for hours and hours and hours at a time with how pathetic you are. So maybe if I can just straight up burn you that bad, and the opposition, 88% of the guns in this country are controlled by Republicans. Or hold on, by white people. Most of those are in the hands of Republicans. So the other side is vastly outgunned, vastly outmanned, and we don't need Kleenex to dry rivers full of lip tears from our snowflake eyes because we're not fucking snowflakes. We're not fucking pussies. All right, but to these lefties, they're like, oh, that's so hateful. How could you ever do that? And it's because they're beta males, dude. The women don't even like. Women think when I talk like this, they think it's sexy. I know they do, because women respond like that. Because women throughout history have been conquered by brutal, savage thugs, like the Mongols and the Vikings, the Aztecs. And so when people come in and they brutalize and savage people, they like come rape your women, then the women have to deal with these people. And so women actually are really good at dealing with people who are aggressive, and they actually look for guys who are aggressive. And so people think, they're like, oh, Kyle's being a hater. No, I know what women want, dude. They want me to not be a pussy. They want me to have a backbone. They want me to lift weights, be in good shape. They want me to stick up for her when all of these other beta male cuck motherfuckers are sucking the shit out of other people's assholes because they need other people's approval in order to feel good about themselves because they're brainwashed Democrats. They're beta male feminists. Women don't like them. They like men like me. I'm smart. I wear a suit. I'm in good shape. I talk hella shit to the people they don't like. They love me. That's what they don't understand, and that's why you should also, too, act like me. Don't be a pussy. No, you should bring out all the metaphorical guns and fire all of the metaphorical missiles, or as I like to call them, the Judah missiles, metaphorical Judah missiles. That's what I feel like. I'm like firing off. Every single time I do this show, dude, I feel like I'm like firing off like rockets. I'm like, sorry, I'm getting a little bit rambunctious here. But yeah, women will like you a lot more if you're not a beta male pussy cuck motherfucker, and if you have a spine, and if you work out, and if you stick up for her, because that's what she's looking for. She's looking for the best quality seed. So she's looking for a smart person who is can speak his mind, because if he can't, she will control him. And if she can control him, she will leave him for someone who she can't control.